Am I 32F, the asshole for telling a pregnant woman to fuck off? I feel like I'm not, but some people have suggested otherwise, so I want to get some other opinions. Sorry if it's all over the place, deep in PP still. I'll preface this all by saying I am a single parent, and naming my child felt like a massive responsibility to handle alone. Am I the asshole for telling a heavily pregnant woman to fuck off? My waters broke when I was 33 weeks and 2 days pregnant, so I had to stay in hospital to try and keep her in as long as possible. During which time I was supposed to have been moving out of my flat into another, so had to coordinate movers' help from the hospital bed. I also was in a pre-labor room at the hospital, which had 4 beds in and women constantly in and out. I counted at least 14 in my stay. They were kept there until being 4 centimeters dilated, so some screamed. A lot. Not much sleep was had, and needless to say, I was petrified of what was to come and thoroughly exhausted. On the 4th night, daughter 33 WKS, 6 days, I started having contractions. I was taken to the delivery room at 7 a.m., but nothing happened for a while. With some help and encouragement from my mom and best friend, I eventually gave birth to my beautiful baby girl at 4 p.m., so nearly 18 hours of labor. I was in love, but after the adrenaline wore off, absolutely exhausted. At this point, the nurses were moving me to my aftercare room, and we had to get the lift down a floor. They wheeled me on my bed, and my daughter, in the cot, in. A pregnant woman in a wheelchair with her husband next to her smiled and said, "Oh, how beautiful. What's her name?" I replied nicely, "I'm not sure yet. I have a top 3, but I want to meet her properly and try them out before I settle on one." Her face was shock and disgust. "What do you mean? How can she be born without a name? That's so horrible, poor girl." I wanted to burst into tears. She was 6 weeks early. I was alone, exhausted, and just became a mom for the first time an hour ago, and I'm already getting criticized? So as the elevator stopped, I looked at her and said, "Oh, fuck off," rather bluntly. Her face fell, and her husband looked at me in anger. I think she was crying when the doors closed, but I was being wheeled in the other direction, so couldn't see. The nurse smiled at me after, and I took that as I wasn't unjustified, but I've since told others, and some think they thought I was extremely rude, and it was unfair to upset a heavily pregnant woman, quite possibly going to give birth. Others think I'm right, or the birthing drugs, I had gas and air, while the hormone that makes labor faster, can't remember name, didn't help, so I shouldn't blame myself.